Today's 2-minute fairy tale is a gory, horrific one from Italy called Penta of the Chopped Up Hands by Giambattista Basile. The king's wife dies, but he falls in love with his sister, Penta. He begs her to marry him, and she's like, no. And she's like, what do you even like about me? And he says, your hands. I'm obsessed with your hands. Because he's a horrible, creepy freak. So she tricks a servant into cutting her hands off for her, and he's so mad about it, he puts her in a chest, throws her out to sea. A fisherman finds the chest and brings it home, and when they open it and find this beautiful woman inside, the fisherman's wife gets super jealous of her beauty and tells him to put her back into the chest and thrown back into the sea, so they do. Eventually her chest gets found by the king of another country. He thinks she's beautiful and wonderful, makes her a lady-in-waiting to his wife, the queen. Well, then later, the queen is conveniently dying, and she tells her husband, I think you should marry Penta. So she dies, and he does. King has to go on a journey, and while he's gone, she has their baby, and so a messenger is sent to go tell him, hey, she had this beautiful, healthy child. But the messenger stops at the home of that fisherman and the wife who hates Penta. And so she gets the messenger drunk, switches the letters so that the letter says that she gave birth to a puppy, not a human. Women were blamed for these things in this time. Well, I mean, they weren't giving birth to puppies, but any deformed child. Anyway, she's hoping that the king will have her killed, but the king sends back a letter saying, God must have willed her to have a puppy. We're gonna raise that puppy as our own. So again, she substitutes the letter and has the messenger take home a message that now Penta has to be burned at the stake. Penta and her child run away and live with a magician in his hut in the woods. King comes home, finds out everything that happens, and finds out it's all the fisherman's wife's fault, and so he has her house burned. Turns out the magician that Penta is staying with has also offered a reward to whoever can tell him the most miserable tale. So the king thinks, well, I'll go and tell him this tale. This is awful. But Penta's brother, who now feels terrible about what he did, also shows up to tell his tale of his wickedness toward his sister. The king tells his story too, and then the magician brings out Penta and her son and says, King, you win, you're more miserable. Brother, you caused your own problems, you suck. And Penta and her husband become heirs to his magical kingdom as well as the king's kingdom he already has. Then he tells Penta to put her stumps under her girdle, and when she pulls them out, she has hands again. Apparently more beautiful than ever, and it doesn't say what happens to her brother, but hopefully he stays far away from them. As always, check out my book, Reimagining of the 12 Dancing Princesses, and my podcast. All the links are in the bio.